She was a Congress stalwart and face for the Congress in Uttar Pradesh for the 2012 elections. Rita Bahuguna Joshi has now deserted the Congress party, sinking ship, and has formally joined the BJP. She is now likely to be the star campaigner for the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. After changing the party, she took on the Congress High Command and said that Rahul Gandhi is not fit to lead the Congress. And I'm joined by Rita Bahuguna Joshi this evening. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, many are surprised by this move given the fact that your family has been with the Congress party for 40 years. What made you take a decision to move to the BJP?
Look, Navika, I think you've used very strong words, but I have been in the Congress party continuously for about 20 years and 4 years before that. So 24 years out of 27 of my political career I've been with the Congress. And mind you, I joined the Congress when its influence had completely waned in UP. It was in a crisis, and I put in all my best energies to revive the party. Unfortunately, the people of UP have rejected the Congress party. They are not prepared to accept the leadership of Rahul ji or whoever is being projected, Sheila ji, as the CM candidate. So I think, UP requires a change. After such long tenure of the BSP, NSP, and they're alternately governing the state, misgoverning the state, and bringing it to shambles. What is required now is that these two parties, the UP is kind of, safe from these parties. So if we have to really change the government, it's only the BJP, because it's still, people have faith in Modi ji's abilities, and they have a big clout in UP, and if we have to really bring back UP on the development agenda, there is no other choice except that people like me should join ranks and ensure that BJP gets a clean majority.
Ms. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, that's exactly what Manish Tiwari of the Congress party, while reacting to your joining the BJP, said, that you are opportunistic. Just because the Congress is in a bit of trouble, you've decided to change your wagon and move on and hitch your wagon with the BJP, which seems to be a rising star. So does that make you opportunistic as stated by the Congress party?
Navika, I joined the Congress party when it was not even getting 5 seats. It was on the lowest ebb. I have contested elections against Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi, against Mr. Rajnath Singh, against Mr. Tandon, against Mr. Kesinath Tripathi, who is now the governor. I have always taken head on the tallest leaders in the BJP on the behest of the Congress party. Now, if after all this, I feel that UP requires a change, and Congress is failing to give that change to the state, I think it's a historical necessity that BSP and SP are really thrown out of power, because the misgovernance and the rule of the mafias in UP, whether it's the mining mafia, the liquor mafia, the land mafia. Look what's happening. The Supreme Court and High Court are intervening in the daily functioning of the government. What's happening to them? So alternately they come, because caste politics has become so strong in UP. It's embedded so deeply, and it could be broken only on the development agenda in 2014 elections, when 73 seats.
But you haven't responded. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, you haven't responded to the comment of the Congress party, which has called you opportunistic. Are you being opportunistic when you have decided to change over to the
Am I opportunistic? What I have told you is that opportunism, that 24 years of my best time I have given to the party when it was not in power in UP, and we knew it was far away from power. See, today what's happening is that UP has rejected the Congress. Despite all the fact that Rahul ji is touring the state, despite the fact that PK is trying to push the campaign of UP, despite the fact that the bus yatras are going on, it's not being able to make a change, and UP requires a change.
Why are you saying Rahul Gandhi's leadership is ineffective? Are you saying Rahul Gandhi and his Khat Sabhas are not drawing any crowd, not being able to spread the message that Rahul Gandhi wants to? Are you saying the entire yatra of Rahul Gandhi is a failure?
What I would say, it's ineffective. It's not translating into a change in mindset of the voter. The voters are not being, impressed or rather attracted to the Congress party. And this I say because I'm a grassroots worker. I'm not a studio worker. I'm a grassroots worker. And I've myself contested 7-8 elections. I know how the electorate feels. Mr. Manish Tiwari ran away from elections in 2014. Rita Joshi contested against Mr. Rajnath Singh, who was the national president of the BJP. So please don't, this charge is baseless, unfounded. If the Congress party wants to hide its own ineffectiveness or its own deficiency behind this argument, I have no problem. My problem right now is that the UP needs a change. And we live in UP, we see what disastrous governance is going on there. And alternately, both these parties have ruined the economy of the state. They have ruined the law and order situation in the state. And if the BJP can bring it out, it's a national party. And the agenda is development. So why not? And if I can contribute towards bringing UP out of this melee, I don't mind if they call me opportunistic. Yes, this is not opportunism. This is an opportunity to save UP.
But Ms. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, you worked very closely with the Gandhi family. You've been close to Sonia Gandhi and then you were very close to Rahul Gandhi. Many say it's just because you were sidelined, you were not projected as either the UPCC chief or the chief ministerial face, that you decided to dump the Congress party and move on. Do you think Rahul Gandhi somewhere or the other humiliated you by choosing Sheila Dikshit as the chief ministerial face of Uttar Pradesh when she's been a 3-term chief minister of Delhi? Are there no faces in Uttar Pradesh at all that Mr. Gandhi can see?
Let me quickly respond to this. See, Mrs. Gandhi, when she was in charge of the party, she ran it very well. She understood the organization. She knew the worth of the leaders. And she would carry along everybody, the workers, the leaders, the party. Unfortunately, ever since Rahulji has come center stage, he's probably not coming to grips with the reality. He's not actually, having a broad consultative base. I don't know who advises him. Whatever it is, the people are not accepting his leadership. And if you are saying claim to chief minister's post, the best claim was in 2012 when I was the president. I have never hankered for positions. So please, this is wrong. Mrs. Sheila Dikshit is a senior leader, has been a very successful chief minister in Delhi, but she is not acceptable to the people. How am I responsible for that? So the question is, the leadership is not invoking enthusiasm, or it's not attracting. Rahulji's leadership is not acceptable to the people. The party leadership, the leaders in the party are disgruntled. It's not the question of Rita Joshi. You've seen how many tall leaders have left the party. There must be something wrong in the function. Why don't they introspect? Instead of accusing others of opportunism, a person who went to jail fighting BSP, whose house was burnt, who on me 17 cases have been slapped when I was the president, I'm still fighting out those cases, taking bail after bail. If I am opportunistic, then I don't know what loyalty or what commitment means. See, UP requires a change, BJP can give it, Modiji's leadership is acceptable to the people. So I think I'm in the right place now and I have no regrets. The opposition has to say, Congress has to say
you
something.
Have worked closely, Rita ji, you have worked closely with Rahul Gandhi. How would you say Rahul Gandhi is running the Congress party? Under Rahul Gandhi, how is the Congress poised for the 2019 elections? Are they up to the challenge of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections and of course the Uttar Pradesh elections before that?
Well, see, Rahulji must be having his own advisory board or people who would advise him. He obviously has been there for 13 years. He must be having his own approach to politics. But as a senior leader, I feel that the approach that was there with Mrs. Gandhi is lost. And that kind of approach has kind of disgruntled, or you could say made ineffective the state leaders. I'm a state leader, I'm not a national leader. But people feel ignored. They feel that their advice is not carrying clout with the leadership. See, I must have written half a dozen letters to the party president. I have always voiced my concerns very loudly and very frankly. Ever since Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad came, I have been writing to him how things are going around and what needs to be redressed. But unfortunately, I think people like me do not have any voice, has no importance. So what I would say is, see, I'm not in the Congress party anymore, but somehow there is something missing. And how to carry along the party, this somewhere they have, slipped, and it's too late now.
You say that you have tried to bring all these issues to the notice of Rahul Gandhi. Is Rahul Gandhi not accessible to state leaders? You constantly talk about advisors around him. So is Rahul Gandhi somebody who depends on his close advisors and he doesn't have a direct contact with leaders? What exactly is the running of the Congress party?
I think they are not in grips with reality, let me say this in terms of UP. I don't know about other states. The reality is that any amount of Khat Sabhas or amount of bus yatras where the prospective candidates bring in their crowds, their well-wishers and raise slogans is not going to bring the party back. They are not realizing that the party is built by workers and its state leaders. And if you sideline them, and then what happens? The party really slips, and somehow people are not convinced in UP that the Congress is an alternative to these parties, the SP and the BSP. So the party has to see, and they have to introspect. Now I'm no advisor. Since I've left the party, I don't think I'm in a position or I have the right to advise them. But ever since Rahulji has come center stage, the party is in a disarray all over the country, especially in UP.
You say that there are advisors around Rahul Gandhi who advise him. Is Prashant Kishore one of the advisors who's running the UP campaign? And does he base the entire strategy for the UP campaign based on what Congress leaders want, based on what Congress leaders in the state say, or whether is it a one-man show, Prashant Kishore directing Rahul Gandhi?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would only say that Mr. Prashant, UP is a very complex state. It's a huge state of over 20 crore people. There are lakhs and lakhs of people who have their own, or there are so many sections who have their grievances and their, their aspirations. How can a person just come into a state and within a couple of weeks decide what should be the agenda of the party and formulate it, and then he decides how the party will go ahead? So I don't think, the amount of importance that was given to him, you do require poll managers, I agree on that. But the kind of powers that are being invested in him, I think most of our leaders are unhappy, and you must have seen their statements. I've never given a statement against him. While I was in the party, I was disciplined and kept quiet. But my CLP leader has given so many statements, MLAs have given, so many MLAs have left the party. So you see, in all these 5 years, just ask about how many times have they met their MLAs. You were only 28, now probably there are only 20. Nobody has met the MLAs separately as a group. They have not consulted them, those who won in such bad situations. You imagine, I was the only winner in 2012 in the Lucknow division, which has about 50 odd seats. And yet MLAs who won after such strong contest, they must be having a strong base, grassroots. They are not consulted. The MLAs have their own grievances. So I think that vesting too much authority or having too much of trust in a campaign to win an election is not what is required. You need to win the faith of the people, the trust of the people, and this the workers can do.
Rita ji, the question is, Prashant Kishore is an election strategist. He has a product to sell, and that product is Rahul Gandhi. Do you think Rahul Gandhi is a saleable commodity? Will the people buy Rahul Gandhi as packaged by Prashant Kishore?
Look, Rahulji is also a leader. I will not use such strong words as you have done. But certainly, I think he can be a poll manager. He can't be a poll director. And the elections require much more than that. And somehow, the leadership, Congress leadership, central leadership, is not in grips with what is required in UP. This much I can say. Only doling out promises are not going to bring you the votes. You have to win the trust of the people, and these poll managers can't do that. That has to be done by leaders, and they have to be kept forefront.
Does Rahul Gandhi have a future as a future Prime Minister of India? Do you think he has it in him to reach that position?
Well, right now, I would say nobody knows the future. But right now, probably he requires to change a lot to lead a national party like the Indian National Congress.
Rita ji, some Congress leaders, like senior leaders like Kapil Sibal have said, you have taken funds for election from them and deserted the Congress. How would you respond to the fact that you've taken funds from the Congress party but you've deserted the Congress party now?
Well, I have written a letter to Mr. Sibal, which I did in the afternoon, requesting him to withdraw the fund because I have not utilized this fund. I knew that I missed him in the past 50 days. It just came about a fortnight back. I'm grateful to him that he considered my request. He was a Congress MP Rajya Sabha. I was also Congress MLA. But as soon as I have resigned, I have sent a letter to him, which has been received by his office, that he may kindly withdraw the fund as I have left the Indian National Congress.
My last question to you, Rita Bahuguna Joshi. You've used strong words in several tweets against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You've called him a fascist. You've called him in the past of being involved in Snoopgate. You've talked about Modi ji's silence once resulted in Gujarat massacre. His silence this time may engulf all of India and hate and violence. All of these words against Narendra Modi, and still you decided to join the BJP. Are you saying you were wrong in the past? Would you like to apologize to Prime Minister Narendra Modi now that you have joined the BJP?
See, I was a Congress spokesperson. I stood by the Congress party line. When I felt that it was not possible any further, I have stopped because, the surgical strike was an issue, national issue to which the national sentiment was attached. I felt deeply hurt when we joined the chorus of smaller parties with no significance nationally or internationally to ask for, proof for surgical strike, not accepting the version of the DGMO, not accepting the version of the government. The entire world was standing by the party, by the BJP or by the government, and they were, accepting that it was required and it was done, and we were questioning our own government, giving the enemy state an opportunity to beat us up with the same stick. See, a national party does not function like this. We should have stood by the government.
What about your own personal tweets against Mr. Modi? Would you today apologize for those tweets, Ms. Rita Bahuguna Joshi?
You please go back and look at my tweets in terms of the surgical strikes, which I gave about 2 weeks back. And as far as I am concerned, I told you I was the national spokesperson of the party. I stood by the party view. Now, because I feel that UP requires a change and BJP can give it to it, when I know that the fight against terrorism, the way Mr. Modi is fighting, is the only way out. He has won over international accolades. He is winning over support everywhere, and he has given a lesson to our neighbor state, which exports terrorism. I feel it's a time to stand by him, and so I will stand by him in national interest, in the interest of the state.